Hi, everyone, and welcome to your ultimate guide to the 10 best things to do in Cheyenne, Wyoming, a city where the spirit of the American West still feels vivid, open, and deeply authentic. As Wyoming's capital and a historic railroad town, Cheyenne blends frontier legacy with modern life in a way that feels proud yet unpretentious. Wide skies stretch endlessly overhead. Brick buildings tell stories of cowboys and railroads, and the pace of life invites you to slow down and notice the details. Cheyenne is not about spectacle or hurry. It's about space, story, and presence. Whether you're here for history, culture, outdoor beauty, or simply the feeling of standing beneath an enormous sky, Cheyenne offers moments that feel grounding and memorable. So let's take our time and explore 10 unforgettable things to do in Cheyenne, one meaningful experience at a time. 1. Visit the Wyoming State Capitol. History, pride, and open space. Begin your Cheyenne journey at the Wyoming State Capitol, a beautifully restored building that stands as a symbol of independence, progress, and civic pride. Walking toward its golden dome, you feel the openness of the surrounding grounds, where trees, lawns, and pathways create a sense of calm rather than formality. Inside, the building feels bright and welcoming, with marble corridors, historic chambers, and exhibits that tell the story of Wyoming's journey from territory to statehood. This is the first state where women gain the right to vote, and that spirit of forward thinking is woven quietly into the space. Visitors move freely, reading plaques, pausing in galleries, and absorbing the atmosphere without rush. The experience feels informative without being heavy, respectful without being distant. The Capitol offers a thoughtful introduction to Cheyenne, grounded in history, openness, and quiet confidence. 2. Explore the Cheyenne Depot Museum, Rails, Movement, and Memory. The Cheyenne Depot Museum stands at the heart of the city as a reminder of how railroads shaped the American West and gave rise to Cheyenne itself. The grand red brick building once served as a vital hub for trains crossing vast plains, and today it invites visitors to step into that era of movement and ambition. Inside, exhibits share stories of engineers, settlers, and travelers whose lives were shaped by the rhythm of arriving and departing trains. Vintage photographs, artifacts, and restored spaces create a sense of continuity between past and present. Standing beneath the high ceilings, you can almost imagine the echo of footsteps and steam whistles from another century. Outside, the tracks still run, reinforcing the feeling that Cheyenne remains connected to its origins. The Depot Museum tells Cheyenne's story through motion, industry, and human determination. 3. Walk downtown Cheyenne. Brick streets and Western character. Downtown Cheyenne offers a walkable, inviting experience where historic buildings and local businesses create an atmosphere that feels both lived in and proud. Brick storefronts line wide streets, housing cafes, boutiques, galleries, and cowboy-inspired shops that reflect the city's identity without exaggeration. Walking here feels easy and unhurried, with plenty of reasons to pause. A coffee shop window, a mural, or a quiet bench beneath open sky. The architecture carries Western character without pretension, grounded in practicality and history. Conversations drift across sidewalks, and the pace encourages browsing rather than rushing. Downtown Cheyenne doesn't try to impress, it simply welcomes. This area reveals the city's everyday rhythm, where tradition and modern life meet naturally. 4. Discover the Cheyenne Frontier Days Old West Museum, Legacy and Celebration. To understand Cheyenne's most famous tradition, Visit the Cheyenne Frontier Days Old West Museum, which preserves the legacy of the world's largest outdoor rodeo and Western celebration. Inside, exhibits showcase rodeo history, championship saddles, Western art, and photographs that capture decades of community pride and cowboy culture. The space feels celebratory yet respectful, honoring skill, resilience, and tradition rather than nostalgia alone. Even outside of Frontier Day season, the museum brings the spirit of the event to life through storytelling and display. You sense how deeply this celebration is woven into the city's identity. The museum reflects Cheyenne's enduring connection to the West, not as myth, but as lived tradition. 5. Stroll Lions Park and Lake, calm water, and community space. For a moment of quiet nature within the city, Lions Park and Lake offers a peaceful retreat shaped by water, grass, and open space. A paved path circles the lake, inviting gentle walks where reflections of sky and trees shift with each step. Ducks glide across the surface, joggers pass with easy rhythm, and families gather without crowding the space. The park feels relaxed and inclusive, designed for simple enjoyment rather than spectacle. Sitting by the water, you notice how silence and movement coexist comfortably here. Lions Park provides a calm pause in Cheyenne's landscape, a place to breathe, walk, and reflect. 6. Visit the Nelson Museum of the West, Art, Heritage, and Storytelling. The Nelson Museum of the West offers a thoughtful exploration of Western art, firearms history, and frontier storytelling. Exhibits range from fine art paintings to historical weapons, each presented with context and care rather than glorification. The museum encourages understanding of the West as a complex place shaped by creativity, conflict, and culture. Walking through the galleries feels reflective, allowing you to see how the Western image evolved over time. The space feels intimate and educational, offering insight rather than spectacle. The Nelson Museum adds depth to Cheyenne's Western identity through art and interpretation. 7. Drive or walk the Wyoming State Museum. People and place. Located near the capital, the Wyoming State Museum provides an engaging overview of the state's natural, cultural, and political history. Exhibits are interactive and thoughtfully designed, covering everything from geology and wildlife to indigenous cultures and modern life. The museum feels accessible and welcoming, encouraging curiosity rather than overwhelming visitors with information. Families, students, and travelers move easily through the space, discovering connections between land and people. This museum helps place Cheyenne within the broader story of Wyoming, wide, resilient, and deeply rooted. 8. Take a scenic drive on Happy Jack Road, sky, pines, and distance. Just outside Cheyenne, Happy Jack Road offers a scenic escape into pine-covered hills and open high plains. Driving this route feels expansive, with long stretches of road framed by forest, sky, and shifting light. The landscape opens gradually, inviting reflection and a sense of freedom that defines Wyoming's character. Pull-offs offer chances to stop, breathe, and absorb the quiet. The experience feels restorative rather than rushed. Happy Jack Road captures Cheyenne's connection to wide-open land and quiet beauty. 9. Enjoy local dining and coffee, warmth and simplicity. Cheyenne's food scene reflects its personality, welcoming, hearty, and unpretentious. Local restaurants and cafes focus on comfort, quality, and friendly service, offering meals that feel familiar yet thoughtfully prepared. Coffee shops serve as gathering places where conversation flows easily and time feels flexible. Dining here feels personal rather than transactional, Cheyenne's culinary culture emphasizes connection, warmth, and everyday enjoyment. 10. Watch the sunset over the high plains, Cheyenne at rest. End your Cheyenne experience by watching the sunset over the Wyoming plains, where the sky becomes the main event. Colors spread slowly, gold, amber, pink, and deep blue, across an endless horizon that seems to stretch forever. The city quiets naturally as light fades, and the openness of the landscape becomes fully visible. Standing still beneath that sky, you feel small in the best possible way, grounded, present, and aware. This sunset offers Cheyenne's most honest farewell, wide, calm, and unforgettable. And there you have it, 10 unforgettable things to do in Cheyenne, Wyoming. From railroad history and Western heritage to quiet parks, museums, and open plains, Cheyenne offers experiences that feel authentic, spacious, and deeply rooted in place. This is a city that rewards patience and presence, inviting you to stand beneath wide skies and simply be.